Today, we're going to learn how to play Peacefield off of Ghost's latest album, Skeleta. This video has been a long time coming, and I'm glad I can finally get this onto your screens and we can all kind of learn how to play Peacefield. Well, at least my interpretation of how to play Peacefield. This is how I picked it apart back in May, I think. And then I refined it, and now I'm giving it to you. Some of you have seen my lesson videos before, and some of you haven't, but regardless of whether you're new to the channel or you're a longtime subscriber, I have changed the format of this lesson up a little bit. As you guys let me know in the comments, I like to talk a lot as I teach on YouTube. And yes, I do talk quite a bit. My philosophy as a guitar teacher on YouTube has always been, I want to give you a similar experience as to how you would be if you were in the room with me one-on-one taking a private lesson, which, by the way, if you're interested in taking private lessons with me, feel free to shoot me a DM or send me an email or something. Maybe we can make something work. I kind of want to pick up some new students. Anyways, part of that is I like to explain to my students what they're doing, rather than just showing you tabs. However, y'all have been asking for tabs on screen, and y'all have been asking me to stop talking for the longest time, and I figured I'd abide. Really what happened is there's a version of this video where I was trying to explain how to play the main, ever-going, never really repeating verse riff of Peacefield, and I just confused the hell out of myself, which means if I'm confused editing this video, I can't imagine you're going to understand what is going on. What I did is I set a metronome to 85 BPM, and I played every single part of the song slow at 85 beats per minute, and I've left the tabs on the screen for you. And every single section of the song will be a different chapter in this video. But because I have this urge to share my knowledge for better or worse with you, I've also left in chapters where I explain to you different concepts, different exercises, just different ways that I would approach tackling Peacefield, and maybe there are also skill sets that will help you learn other songs on the guitar. So as you're learning Peacefield, let me know in the comments what you like about this format, if there's anything I can do differently in the next lesson. And you're gonna hit the subscribe button because we're gonna learn a couple more Ghost tunes in the near future. But having said that, let's get our guitars tuned to D standard, that's the standard tuning for Ghosts, and let's get right into the intro riff. And then we're gonna get a tip. So the first tip of the lesson, aren't you excited? We're already getting into the theory, knowledgeable stuff. The first thing you'll notice as we go throughout the song, we have to extend our pinky a lot. There's like really no way around this. I understand that the pinky is not everybody's favorite finger to use, but it's really gonna benefit you, especially because the principle of this whole song that revolves around the entire Peacefield riff is a ninth chord. If you don't know what a ninth chord is, you can think of it like a power chord stacked on top of another power chord. We just did the intro, which is basically on the 10th fret, so let's just go up there. You would take your pointer finger like that, and play your root note. Then this is your 5th, that's the 12th fret, that's your traditional power chord. And then, as some of you may know, you can get the octave by taking your pinky and placing it on the 12th fret of the G string. So you get root, 5th, octave. That is a power chord. We take our pinky and we move it over 2 more frets. So we have essentially this power chord on top of this one. We get, and that's all throughout the song. So as a little basic exercise, I want you to take this pattern, and we're gonna do this all over the fretboard. We'll start on 10. You're gonna just take your power chord shape, your 3-finger power chord. So you're gonna go root, 5th, octave. Then from there, I want you to extend your pinky out. So you're getting root, 5th, 9th. And you're just gonna go back and forth. And I would do this all over the fretboard because it's gonna feel different, like say on the 1st fret. You're gonna do it down there. That was a little out of tune. Peacefield specifically, you're doing it 10th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret. Another thing that is going to happen in the song is you're going to string skip a decent amount. So another thing you can do just with your picking hand, check this out. This is really philosophical. And you even need your left hand for this. I tell my students just, doom scroll on TikTok with one hand or watch TV or whatever the hell you're doing. You're just skipping over that one string. So it's A, I lift my pick up, and I hit G, and I come back down on D. It's mindless. It's simple. You could do it whenever you want. We've been doing a lot of the lead guitar. Basically, that's all we've done up to this point. There's a very important rhythm guitar part that supports the lead guitar in the song. And to get the full sound of Peacefield, you really have to know how to play both parts. Not that you can play them at the same time, but they intertwine off each other. It's a totally harmonized riff. So if you got a buddy that plays guitar, have him learn one of these parts, and you learn the other part, and then you'll play Peacefield no problem. What we're going to do now is we're going to learn the chorus main riff for the second guitar. We're going to do the first chorus, which is very easy, and then the second chorus, which is like the harmonized main riff. And then we're going to learn what the second guitar does in the verse and the pre-chorus. This is like my third outfit of the video because I've filmed this so many times. It's obnoxious. It's really easy. It's literally all it is, and then we have this part. Another thing that I really recommend for this is, again, using all your fingers. And one exercise we can do to get really good at that is this thing called the spider scale, which you probably know. But if you don't know it, I'm going to show it to you right now. You pick any 4 frets on the guitar. So all I would do, so I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so, the 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to go all the way across all 6 strings. I do it in reverse. And then if you really want to get your fingers dexterous, if you want your fingers to have a lot of dexterity, you could do this variation of where you go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do this on the first fret so it's not confusing. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then it just keeps cycling through. Because as you'll notice, once we start getting to all the leads and whatnot, you really have to be able to rip on this stuff. shred. It's time for the solo. I think you can do it. I'm very confident that you can do it, actually. There's a ton of tips I'm going to show you on how to get all these fingers and this wrist all synchronized so you can start getting fast and shredding this Peacefield solo. Let's watch the walkthrough, and then please, I advise you to listen to my tips. That's probably my favorite lick in all of Ghost's catalog, and it's really not that hard. It's just fast. All it is the minor scale in G minor. We're gonna refer to it as like the fretboard, not the actual key, not the actual P. Haha. That's because I'm holding it in. I gotta go. What they're doing here is they're playing this scale normally, so it's 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6. And they're shifting positions because you can play your scales in multiple spots. You can play it here. You get your relative major. Their modes, I kind of think of them as just scales. Maybe there's a right or wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments how you think of them. But, so instead of just sticking in one box, they're shifting over. It's this pattern of 6 notes, shift, shift. And then give a stank face as you hit that guy. It's very important. And if you'll notice as I'm doing that, I'm always leading with the pointer finger, and it's always gonna be pointer pinky, and then depending on which fret I'm hitting, the fret next to my pointer finger, I'm using my middle, and if it's the fret next to my pinky, I'm using my ring. Again, a spider scale kind of thing. Because I'm not saying like you have to use the pinky, but like I think you should use the pinky. There's so many more things you can do if you get this pinky finger working. Like this riff. That was sloppy, but you get the idea. Same thing at the end of the solo. I'm only picking the first note of each string. And I guess the last note on the D string. This one's a bigger stretch, the 8, 10, and 12. Again, 3 fingers. I like pointer, pinky. I tend to go with my ring finger for that middle. Some people do the middle finger for the middle fret. That's always been weird for me, so I use the ring. This one's more straightforward. This is just your typical 4-fret box. With these faster runs, they're palm muted a little bit. So what I do, this is how you can think of palm muting. And again, if this is like a review for you, feel free to skip ahead to the next part. If this is important to you, please listen, because I like teaching. All I do for a palm mute, hopefully you could see this. All I'm doing is I'm taking my palm and I'm gently placing it right on like where the string meets on this. It's like the ball, and it gives it this little muted sound. And typically we think of like chuggy, kind of riffs for that. But we can do it in solos too, and it helps us control the dynamics a little bit more. If I don't do that, it can be a little sloppy. It's a little sloppy sometimes. A lot of times I kind of keep my palm glued around the bridge area, and I'm not necessarily keeping it glued the entire time to the bridge. I'm not. But I just find keeping my palm around the bridge allows me to have more control over the dynamics of the guitar. I can get these like subtle palm mutes. on things I wouldn't normally think the palm mute, like that lick. It just allows you to control the dynamics a little bit. Yeah, that. And now you have everything you need to play Peacefield by Ghost. I hope this lesson helped you out, and if it did, please hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel more than you can imagine. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subs by the end of the year, and we're just under 500 to get there. I got about 3.5 months to do it. Any support would be greatly appreciated. And let me know which Ghost song you want to check out next, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.